recording. It's recording now.
So we need to work on the research questions and like a scenario, right?
Yes. So I'm looking at the document, yeah, for Thursday, the simulation. But Hyan, I know you have a deadline today.
Mm-hmm.
Would you prefer to meet at a different time?
I think it's okay for me because I just like a multitasker.
Okay. Okay.
9. I have to upload the assignment. So can you please read the requirement? What is it? Or maybe share something?
Sure. Okay, I can share.
I apologize. I have a lot on my plate.
No, I understand. I'm being pulled in too many directions right now too. It's okay. Okay, so let me just start from here. Can you see that okay, Alba?
Yep, okay.
We're preparing step 4, designing reconnaissance.
So we said we are in the evaluation phase.
Because it's saying designing reconnaissance or evaluation phase of the image.
Okay.
So we're going to choose evaluation phase.
Yeah. So our scenario need to start with why we want to do evaluation phase. I think we need to start with something like very brief. Like we will act like we are discussing, do you want to start with the first phase or the evaluation phase, right? We can say something like we already have the program implemented. Now we want to focus on such and such and such, which can be taken from last week assignment, right?
We have already implemented the intervention and now our focus.
Yeah.
On
the student feedback or opinion. This is one of the questions that we have.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
Or maybe can we simplify the language? We can say we are focused on what the student think and the parents, what do they think about the intervention?
Yes, I'm pulling up our work from last week.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. So let me just show you what I'm looking at. This one, share. Okay. So okay, we did mention the evaluation phase, why we're selecting, well, the purpose of it. So I could say, why evaluation phase? We have already implemented the intervention and now our focus is on the effectiveness, feasibility, and sustainability.
Yeah, because we are researchers, right? We like those terminologies or words, like we don't have to simplify the language.
Right.
Because we all are researchers. What I suggest is like to have a script as been recommended, so we can put like Hyan is gonna say this sentence, then Julie is gonna say this sentence, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
So I can start, let's see if you can see this. All right. Let me make this a different color.
Or maybe researcher 1, researcher 2, and everyone know knows their assigned number.
Okay, and she did mention last time that
We need to identify the role. Yeah.
The role.
so maybe we'll do that at the very beginning.
Yeah. Introduce one sentence.
So
One. So there's 4 of those.
Yeah.
Okay, why evaluation phase? Let's see.
so what I think what did she mean by identifying the role?
Well, when we did our last simulation, we introduced ourselves right before we began speaking. And so I did say, like, for example, Hyan is a parent participant in our focus group, but I don't think there was enough emphasis on her role or the different roles.
Okay.
I think that was my interpretation of the feedback.
What are we expected to do for this simulation, like for researchers? What do you think we have to say?
Okay, it says 2 team members should perform the role of researchers, and the other 2 should be stakeholders and policy. Okay, so this needs to be policy maker.
Me, right? Policy maker, we already said that's gonna be me. Stakeholder, yeah.
So we have to change this time, remember?
Yes, we have to rotate or change roles.
Okay. Okay. I can be a researcher.
You can be research 1. I can be research 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't mind either of these.
You can be stakeholder.
Okay, and I can check with Melissa if she's okay with it. Okay, stakeholder, policymaker.
Why? Because we plan to use mixed method in this evaluation phase. This is why we choose evaluation phase. We want to use mixed method to evaluate in the evaluation process to in the evaluation process.
I don't think this is enough rationale. I think we need to think about it from a practical point of view. Because we are going to say we want to do the evaluation phase because we already implemented the program, blah, blah, blah. And these are the things that we want to evaluate on the evaluation phase, which requires a mixed method.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying now, but because we don't want to suggest the method, we have to have a justification.
Yeah, we want to say that the phase itself or evaluating the phase itself needs this method, not we just want to use it.
Right. So should I say something like qualitative and quantitative data will be collected and analyzed at the same time, which or how about two?
So after why evaluation in the phase, maybe Hyan's start with a sentence like, well, Albana, we implemented the program. What is the next step? Then I can say like, well, we have like preliminary data suggesting that it's working, but we need to evaluate this more, as our focus was the feasibility, sustainability, right?
Yeah, why don't I'm trying to think. Should we? I wish there was an easier way to work on this at the same time. Okay, I was thinking, you know, if we had this script like researcher 2, researcher 1,
Mhm.
and then we all have a copy of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we can clean it. Like we can just cut the script and have it instead of the whole thing. Yeah, we can do that.
okay. I'm just making sure I read this. Hold on. This. Okay. It says researchers will seek stakeholders' input into a potential MMR design for the reconnaissance or evaluation phase based on the agreement reached with community partners in step 2 to 3 about the entry phase in the action research cycle. Using stakeholders' input and researchers' expertise in mixed methods, action research, researchers and stakeholders will jointly design the MMAR study to address the issue. Okay, so
we don't have to spend like time explaining why we want to do the evaluation phase. Why did we decide to do the evaluation phase, right? This is what I understood. So we have to go directly a discussion with the researchers and stakeholders.
okay.
Right?
Yes. It's already established that we are on the evaluation phase.
Yeah.
But I think it's fine for Hyan or Alberto to say this sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
So we are focusing, we are designing the evaluation phase. We are currently designing the evaluation phase.
We can say now let's evaluate our intervention. Not evaluate. We're not going to evaluate it now. Let's now we need to evaluate our intervention, right? And this is the discussion where the discussion is gonna start. How to evaluate. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see. Stakeholder introduce each. Researcher 1, I agree. Let's how about let's collaborate, or let's hear their input so we can design. Let me make this bigger. Okay, is this working with community?
It's just how to introduce the importance of this step. It's difficult.
Can I say and promote the?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's more accurate.
We need to evaluate our intervention discussion.
I think maybe high-end sentence can end. Now we need to evaluate our intervention. Then I can say, but we need. Then I can say we need to discuss our outcomes with our stakeholders and the policymaker. Yeah. She mentioned something about resources.
Yes, it says working with community partners to determine available data sources to answer the research questions, the timing of quantitative and qualitative data collection, using information to identify.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we can say what do we need to gather? Like what do we need to evaluate? So I agree. We also need to discuss our not outcomes. We are not in the process of evaluating outcomes. We did not have outcomes right till now, right?
Not yet.
Yeah. So
Researcher 2 will say,
so researcher 1 need to be changed. I agree. We also need to discuss our our uh, aims, or I don't know, aims, or what are we trying to evaluate?
our
How can we say that?
our goals.
Yeah.
We need to discuss our
Because we don't have outcomes yet. This is the next step. Yeah, our goals, and how to evaluate them. Our goals and how to evaluate them with. What do you think?
I think that's appropriate for this phase. Okay, so let me get my notebook.
Or maybe for researcher 1, instead of just keep talking and introducing, we can say, I agree, this is why we have our stakeholders, stakeholder and policymaker to discuss our goals and how to evaluate them. Then we can start the discussion.
I think at this point, it's not goals. At this point, we already implement intervention. We want to so the effective, we already said. We want to find out how can we improve this. This is what we need to improve this, or how can we improve? What's the feedback? What's the feedback from the user or from our students, and something like that. Not the goals. Goals from seems
Maybe too broad.
Because from the table, if you scroll down, she said the timing of qualitative and quantitative data collection.
The timing, then timing means concurrently. Let's see. This is step 4, working with community partners to determine available data source to answer the research questions. The timing of quantity. Yeah, the timing is, we already said we use a concurrent one, right? Data collection, data analysis, key Yeah, I think this is our purpose.
Okay, so we have the research.
We already have a purpose here. So yeah, so that then first we want to say, oh, the first one we answered why we choose evaluation phase, correct?
Do we have to restate our questions from last assignment? For example, researcher one, well, we need to answer this, this, and that. Which are the questions from last assignment? Do we have to like?
Yeah, I think we just focus this box. Yeah.
So if you see this one,
Research will seek input into the potential MMR for the evaluation phase based on agreement reached with committee step 2 to 3 above the entry phase in the action research cycle using stakeholders input and researchers expertise in mixed method action research. Research and stakeholders will jointly design MMAR study to address the issue.
So yeah, so it include our questions. Then we can say
in educating, yeah, continue educating community partners about mixed method research. Yeah, and the stakeholder Julia can ask what is a mixed method. We can explain a little bit. You can ask which we want to do first. So instead of timing, we can say, oh, we will do this quality and quantity at the same time, something like that.
Okay. So
yeah.
from the first point, we already discussed the questions with the research, with the stakeholders and the policymaker, I assume. So they are aware about our like what are we seeking?
I think research one should say something at first. Why you can introduce a little bit, briefly introduce this. So so for example, we already developed and implement one school-based in educational SCG intervention for the high school students and the parents, something like that. So now we move on our evaluation phase. So yeah, so the purpose, you can say the purpose of this phase, we want to just like what they said, to like examine the effectiveness, feasibility, and
sustainability.
Yes, no, not sustainability. Yeah, oh yeah, probably sustainability of the intervention. Then so from here, research tool say, okay, I agree, da 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 da. Then after that, so we will move on the next for the stakeholders may drop in. So because we said we will use mixed method to evaluate so the intervention with using mixed method. Then after that, so stakeholder may ask what is mixed method, something like that. I have a question. What is mixed method?
Okay.
So the research, oh no, the stakeholder will state.
Yeah, stakeholders may say something, yeah. Or would you please explain? Yeah. So how can we collect the data and quality data? We don't say quality data, quantity. We can say after that. So we will like yeah. So I think
okay. Okay, so
Yeah, just like we just come up with something like this, then we can move on and just answer all of the questions using our dialogue.
Okay, that will be good.
Mm.
Do you think it would be best? Sorry, let me put if I share this with everyone and we can add our own parts.
Yes, yes.
Would you be comfortable with the Google
Yeah.
document?
Yeah, Google Doc.
So we
After
can-
we work on the Google Doc for the Word document. After that, the last day we can add it to the PowerPoint, copy to the PowerPoint. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And that way Melissa can watch this so far
And the drawing.
and then add her part as the policymaker as well.
Yeah.
Is that okay with everyone?
So we are not gonna do it together. I think it's more I think it's gonna be more effective if we do it like at the same time.
Okay. Sure.
What do you think?
We can keep working. I only have my next meeting at 1:30. So I still have about 25 minutes if
So what is the plan? Like we are gonna based on our times, I'm gonna work using the Google Doc, and then whoever is available can put their input, and I'm gonna wait and see how it goes. This
So
is
the
yeah.
Google Doc, do you remember that PowerPoint?
Yeah.
So it's live. So if I add something, you can see it.
Okay.
If you add something, I can see it. If
Yeah.
I adds,
Okay.
so it just makes the collaboration easier.
Yes, I like that.
Okay. Do you want to start now or?
I'll do that right now so we can add Melissa as well.
If you do that at the same time, I think we can just work. Three of us can type at the same time.
Yeah. 3 maximum.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to copy the entire assignment
Mm-hmm.
so we can see it.
Show me how to do the Google Doc.
Yeah, can you please share the link before via the chat? Just share it before we leave.
Oh, absolutely. I apologize about the discussion board. And okay, so Hyan, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so all I did was I have a folder for this course, but you just click New,
Mm-hmm.
Google Doc,
Doc.
blank document.
Okay.
And you'll paste what you just copied.
Yeah, and I just pasted this.
We will work on this.
So
I have, let's see, how can I find my Google Doc?
let me share it now with you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, I saw that. Okay, I know how to do it, Google Doc. I used it before. Thank you.
Okay, let me get your email.
ANOJEIDI.
Okay, A
N
N
OJ. No, O, not L. EIDI. Can you share it here? Yeah, this is correct. Can you share it here? Maybe it's easier via the chat, the link.
Sure. Just if you don't mind. Oh, okay. I'll do that. Never mind. That's easy. Share. Copy link. And then I will paste it. Oh, 1 second. I'm looking for the chat box.
Yeah, send chat box.
There we go. Okay. Chat. Okay, so you should be able to access it
You need request access. Percent. I don't know.
Did it say request access, Albert?
I saw that.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I request access. So you should receive something.
Yeah, I just received.
Create something.
I think that's a new feature because, like, maybe a new safety feature.
Maybe. Yeah.
Request sent. You will get an email. Okay, I
Yeah.
see.
I just
Check the
received.
email. Yeah.
Let me. Okay, you both should have access.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay. I'll figure it out. I have the link, but I'll figure it out. Okay, so we will end the Zoom now and we'll start with the Google document.
Yes, I think we received from email a Gmail opening doc.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
And it should look like Albert. You should see this.
Yeah, okay. I'll access it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to leave.
So no. So you have a meeting at 1:30.
Oh, at 1:30. Yeah, I can wait until 1:15.
Okay, we can work
you-
on it a little bit
Yeah.
until
Okay.
1:30. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't worry.
Yeah, I have time too.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, I can see Julia type. Yeah. Mm. I think we can delete this. Or
Yeah, sure. Mhm.
yeah, just save some.
Some space. Yeah.
Yeah. "30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, review the actions.
Mm. Review the actions for step 4. This step align with MMAR. Okay.
Alba, were you able to access it?
No. So I accessed the PowerPoint. You know the
No,
old
go
one.
to your go to your
How can I see the whole thing, the whole project, where you have all the files? How can I see that?
go to your Gmail, then click her Julia sent us a link, like opening docs.
Yeah, I can. You know, that's a good idea, Alba.
I have problems with my Gmail. So
You should be able to access it from your UAB. Let me.
this is what I did. So I accessed the old one.
Okay, just click on that link in the chat box and tell me what you see.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, it worked. I have to access the first one first.
Yeah, I can actually create a folder, and because I'll do that tonight, but it would help our organization. You're right, Alba.
Okay.
That's a lot of work, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so the timing. would you like for me to put the research questions back on this document
Yes.
so we can see those?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to copy them.
So Julia, you're going to be like a student or a parent or nurse or what?
That's what I was thinking about, because it says under step 4, one consensus is to establish between researchers and community partners. They work together to determine data sources to answer the research questions, the timing, and collection and analysis. So last time we had the student, the parent, and the school nurse.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it would be most beneficial to have the student again, since this is an intervention for students?
Yes, and even for our research questions, the quantitative, it's all the 3 questions are based on the student and one of the qualitative questions.
Okay, so I'm going to play, my role will be a student, a high school student. Okay.
So I find the sexually transmitted disease knowledge questionnaire, parenthesis STD-KQ. This can be used for our quantitative
Mm-hmm. So is it for
valid
adults or
questionnaire.
for?
I think for this part, they did not distinguish like students or adults. I don't think I can find an like a student.
Because we want to make sure that we are using the same tool. If someone is knowledgeable about the topic, we don't want to.
Yeah.
We don't want to be criticized.
Yeah.
So, Hyan, I changed my introductive sentence. What do you think about it?
Which one?
The scenario.
I agree.
Okay, so because we're gonna have a stakeholder. Maybe you want to add something about what we need to ask about the policy maker as well. Maybe you want to start with something like this and talk about that, saying that we need to take the opinion of the policymaker, or what is the role of the policymaker at this point? What do you think?
Let's see, stakeholder. So when we're saying policymaker, because they weren't involved in our first simulation, remember? So are we thinking about like,
So the policymaker is important when regarding the sustainability,
so
right?
yes, if it's actually going to happen, if
Yeah.
if it's sustainable enough for schools to have this intervention.
And how to make it sustainable, because we need to change something at the policy level, right?
So they may ask something about our data collection.
Okay, because we need to introduce Melissa, like Hyan need to introduce her and why we want to talk with her. So with you, Julie, we want to get your opinion about the intervention.
Okay.
So I'm talking about this introductory discussion.
Okay, so before I start asking a question, I should say something about my opinion of the intervention. Is that what you're thinking?
So, I was thinking about this one. Hyan need to introduce. So I already introduced you. So I said it's a good idea that we have Julie with us to get your opinion about the intervention. Then Hyan can say something that will also we need to talk with Melissa regarding this and this and this.
Oh, okay.
So we need to work here. Oh, Hyan, you need to think about something here. Yeah.
to ensure the
So the effectiveness is going to be gathered from the student. Feasibility, well, this is the role, I think, of the nurse and the school administrators. Then promote the sustainability. This is why we have Melissa as policymaker. So we
Okay.
already,
And that kind of makes sense with this sentence here. To ensure the sustainability,
okay.
to ensure and promote.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So we can delete this.
Okay, so somebody will ask me a question here probably.
Mm. I can ask. Do we need to keep this?
No, we don't we don't need that. I don't think.
What do you think, Julie?
Did your knowledge change? Did it meet your expectations?
Do you think we need to start? What do you need?
Would we say, did your knowledge change before the intervention?
From before. From before, like, did it change? Pre and post the intervention? Is it strong?
Maybe how did your knowledge change? How did your knowledge change before and after the intervention?
Different. How did your knowledge differ from?
Just from like working with high school students some too, I think we may need very specific questions, you know. How did your knowledge, or maybe something like what
did you learn?
What was your knowledge of sexual health and STIs before the intervention? And then the student answers, and then we ask them, what was your knowledge after the intervention? Did,
Transmission or transmitted? How about that? I want to go systematic with the questions.
Say that again.
We want to keep our discussion in line with our questions. So the first question: how does the school, how the program impact the students and parents' awareness about the STI? So yes, this is, I think our start is good. Then you will answer. Then,
Okay. So
and can ask the second question.
and I'm going to answer as a high school student. I think I'm going to say something like we have never had any type of sexual health class or program.
Yeah, it wasn't sufficient, or we didn't. I didn't have this knowledge or education or classes before. Yeah, because this is one of the things.
Yeah. Class or program on sexual health. I would say many of my peers think that
I'm looking for the STI not questionnaire for the high school students.
you find something?
Yes, but I just need the valid reference here. The most at risk age group is adolescents. As they represent half of the newly acquired STD cases. Oh, this is in Italy. No.
So at this point, did we do the post intervention survey or questionnaire? Because this is our quantitative question. The first.
But in the box said we needed to work together to identify the data source. So this is, we have to include this.
We need another stakeholder.
Yeah, we miss one group member. This is not the area I'm familiar with.
What? Oh, the
Yeah, this STD, STI.
do you think this is okay?
Yeah, it's okay because I it's several weeks.
Okay, so Julie, we need to discuss the timing of the discussion. We should to keep in mind that it is before we collect, before, is it before we do the intervention or after? It's after the intervention, but we did not do any testing.
Okay, say that one more time.
So this discussion that we are going to have, this stimulation, the timing, is it before, is it after the intervention, but we did not do any data collection, right?
After this is we already said this is evaluation process.
Okay, but we did not collect any data, right?
But why in the box said we need to, so we need to collect both quality and quantitative data.
Okay.
So for the we could use the knowledge because we after intervention we want to see before baseline scores and after intervention the score changed.
So so the purpose of this stimulation is to decide about the method. We are not collecting any data, right?
We're collecting their feedback.
So we are doing the qualitative section?
Both, I think, both.
This is the evaluate. So let me show you.
As far as I understand, this discussion we are doing this discussion to decide that we need to do qualitative and quantitative. We are not collecting anything at this moment. So when I asked Julie about her opinion about the program, this is not part of the qualitative interview or focus group.
Right. So let me show you. Oh yeah, this. Remember this diagram? So we're in the evaluation part, correct? So we've already collected our data.
Share your screen.
Oh. Is it shared?
Yeah, I can see it. It's not easy. Student resurvey. Okay, so the discussion that my point is that the discussion we are doing right now is to determine that we need to do the qualitative and quantitative. Let's go to the box up at the bottom. So number 4, step 4.
Okay.
Working with the community to determine the available data sources. So we can say, as a researcher, as I can ask you, Julie, will you be able, so you already provided your feedback, right? So I can ask you, will be able, or would you accept to be part of a group asking about your opinion and details about the program? So this is one type of, this is one source of data, right?
Yes.
You are following me, right? I'm not, yeah. Did you understand my point?
I did.
Okay.
I was going to look at that. Where was that diagram? Remember the diagram that Haiyan created?
It's from,
this is what I need to put all of this in a folder so I can share it and we can easily access. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Okay, share this. Okay. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And
so we are in between. So we are here. Can you see my arrow? We are here. No, you can't.
no.
Okay. So we are between the intervention and intervention evaluation. We are in between.
Okay, so
we are in.
And qualitative may or may not have been collected yet, correct?
Exactly. We are doing the discussion to come to a conclusion that we need to collect qualitative and qualitative from the opinion of the stakeholders
So,
and policymaker.
so it would be appropriate to ask a question to the student, would you be interested in participating, right?
Yes,
In our focus group.
exactly. Yeah. So now we have, yeah. This is why I'm saying we need another stakeholder to function as like someone scientific or.
Okay.
So here.
Okay, I'm going to
You have to leave.
switch. Yeah, but I'll switch the host. Make co-host so it doesn't end the meeting.
Okay.
I lost my power.
Oh, it's okay. I'm making you both the host, so if I have to leave, well, I'll just keep. Actually, I'll keep recording. Well, I have to take my laptop. Well, no, I don't actually. Okay, I can.
Actually, yeah, if you leave, I think we just work on like stop the Zoom, then we can work later time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever you prefer. I'll send this recording to Melissa so she can catch up,
Yeah.
and I'll send her the link to
To
the.
all of us. Yeah, send another link to us.
So just to clarify, Hayan, we are in between. We already implemented the intervention, and the goal of this discussion is to decide or to come to conclusion that we need to collect qualitative and quantitative data.
Yes, this is why I said we need to identify like a questionnaire. We do not collect data, but we need identify, discuss with why we select this questionnaire.
I'm gonna keep working on this. Maybe I'm gonna write something about your questions, Hayan. I can do both.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, while you are doing the searching for the questionnaire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Thank you.
all. I'm going to stop sharing.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.